Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. So let's see today's daily challenge on Leetcode and try to solve it together. So in today's challenge, I will show you two methods to solve the problem, starting from the brute force to the most optimal one. And both of this method will be accepted by Leetcode because both are lying within its bounds of time complexity. So we will analyze those things and let's try to understand the problem statement at first. So we need to design a spreadsheet. A spreadsheet, it is given to be a grid with 26 columns and a given number of rows. So a spreadsheet would look, the spreadsheet as described here would look something like this. It has 26 columns. So columns are from A, B, C, D all the way till Z. So these are your columns, right? And you will be given a specific number of rows, that what is the maximum row number that can go. Okay, so let's say this will be the row 1, this will be the row 2, this will be the row 3, and so on till your row number. Okay, so whichever is your row number. So that's what is meant by a spreadsheet, and the naming convention is something like this. So let's say in D, okay, in D this cell would be called as D2. Okay, so this is D, and from here the nomenclature of 2 is coming. So this can be called D2, and you can similarly understand that the maximum range of this row is 1000. Okay, so there can be some cell, let's say P442, something like this. Okay, so you do understand, right? You will go to P here and you will go to 442 here, whichever cell is in between, that will be known as P442. So I hope you do understand the nomenclature at first. And it is told that initially each and every of this cell will contain a 0. Okay, so each and every cell present here would be containing a 0. Okay, and you will be updating these values. So you have to implement some function set cell. What this set cell will do is that it set the value of a specific cell. Okay, so it will give you a cell and a value. So let's say this set cell, if you call this set cell to something like, let's say B3 and 24. Okay, so what it will do is that it will go to this cell B3. Okay, so which is the cell B3? If you try to see, this is the particular cell which is B3. Okay, so it will go to this B3 and it will write a value of 24 over here. Initially the value was 0, so it will write a value of 24 over here. In this way you will be asked to set the several values. Okay, and you will be also given reset cell, in which you will be only asked the cell number. Okay, so let's say this was having a value of 5. So if you are having reset cell, okay, you are having the reset cell function which calls to something like D3. So you will just go to this cell and remove this 5 and place it 0. Okay, so you need to reset the value. So these two functions are very similar, and I hope it is very easy. Now the final function which you need to implement is get value. You will be given a formula in this manner. Okay, so let's say a formula will be given in the form of a string like this. This whole thing will be a string, and this you need to add this x and y. Okay, all you need to do is add this x and y. Now what will be this x and y? It can be a cell. Let's say it is a cell, let's say B3. It can be a cell B3. Okay, and it can be also another cell. This can also be another cell, or so what can be x and y? So x can be a cell, y can be a cell, x can be a number, y cell. Okay, so in this way all the 4 combinations it is possible. It is told in the question, right? I am just telling you that it is already told in the question. All the 4 possible combinations are your answer. When you are told to do x plus y, what you need to do is basically uh, when you are told to, let's say, do something like x plus y. So if there is a cell in x, you go to the cell and find the number, and that will be your thing to add into your answer. Okay, and similarly for y, and if there is not a cell, if there is a number, you just add the whole thing. Okay, you just simply add the whole thing. So that's how it will be done. So if you see something like this, you have a spreadsheet. Okay, you initialize the spreadsheet to, let's say, a value of 3. Okay, so there are 3 rows and 26 columns right now. and given the spreadsheet get value is equal to plus 5 is equal to 5 plus 7. So 5 and 7 both are numbers, you notice here, so you do not need to fetch anything, you can just add them up and return 12 here. And if you are asked to set the cell A1 to 10, so you go and set it to 10, and then when you will be asked to get value of A1 plus 6, you can go to A1 and check that you have the value of 10, and you are asked to add 6 to that value, so you will get 16, and so on. You can just keep on returning. What are the constraints? You see, constraints are also not that difficult. At most 10 to the power 4 calls will be made in total to set cell, reset cell, and get value. Okay, so that is what is told in the question. So let's see how to do this. If you are thinking that you will do in a brute force manner, like creating this whole table in a form of vector of vectors. Okay, so I hope you do understand how to do that. You can keep a vector of vector something like this. That is it simple 2D array you can keep, and you can call it sheet. And when you are asked to initialize row, okay, so let's say you are asked to initialize 50 rows. So what you will do, you will have 50 vectors which will be of size 26. Okay, so so the vector, you can create a vector of size 26 all initialized to 0, and you can just push back that vector into your sheet. Okay, so you can do that and initialize the whole row, and the other things you can do in a very similar fashion. Okay, so see you do not need to think anything in this question, right? All you need to do is implementation, at least for the brute force method. Okay, so I hope there is nothing to actually explain here. Set cell B3 and 24, and even when you are asked to, I mean to, so even when you are asked to calculate this formula x plus y, you can already do it. You might be thinking like, let's say what is, it's something like C424 and y, let's say x, y is something like, let's say x56. So you can also do this easily. You can iterate till you get a plus sign and you will get your first value, and you can iterate till you get the end of the string, you will get the second value. And using these values you can first identify whether the first one is a letter. If the first one is a letter, it means your x and y is of type cell. And if the first one is not a letter, let's say if there was something like 62 already there, then the first character is 6, which is not a letter. So you that then your whole thing is a number, and you can go ahead with this. Okay, so I hope you do understand the approach. The approach is very simple. You just need to add two numbers. All is there in this question is the implementation. So I will first start with the brute force method. So I will initialize my variable, let's say vector of vector. Okay, I will initialize my variable vector of vector in, I will call it a sheet. Okay, now what I will do, I will have some rows, like so for rows minus minus, for every row what I can do is that I can initialize a vector row of 26 letters. Okay, and I will mark all of them with 0. So yeah, by default it will take a value of 0, and sheet will, I will just push back this whole vector into a sheet. So you do understand, I guess. I think you easily understand. Now my whole sheet is initialized. So in this set cell function, what I will simply try to do is do something like sheet of I j equals to value. Okay, so now I need to find this I and j, and that will be very simple, I hope. Let's say we are given a C23 value. Now you easily get what will be the value of I and j. Okay, clearly the value of I will be 2, because let's say A is 0, B is 1, and C is 2, because the first element is C. And the value of, let's say, the j will be something like 22, because it is the 23, and I am doing it by 0 based indexing. Okay, so for C23 I hope I and j values will be this. You do get it at least. So what you can do, you can just take the first element of the cell. You can just simply take the first element of the cell, which is B, which will be A. Okay, and now what you can do, you can perform a string. You can get a string S. How you will get that string? You can get using substr. Okay, so substring function. So I hope you already know this substring function. It will just take two values. So let's say it will take this cell dot substring, and it will start the starting index. So my starting index will be 1, because I will start from this second element, and I will go all the way till the last index, which will be nothing but cell dot size minus 1. So that's how you will get the string, and you can convert this string to integer. Okay, you can convert this string to integer, and that's how you will get your j value. So stoi of j. So yeah, you get this STIFS, so you get this string value. So I hope you do get this and understand this. Okay, so for this reset cell, you just reset cell simply means that set the cell value to 0. Okay, so the value, it will remain all the same, thus the value will be 0. Okay, so that's what about the set cell and reset cell. I hope it was very simple and very easy to understand. There should be no difficulty in this. Okay, now to get values, how do you get the value? So first of all, you need two strings, s1 and s2. Okay, now how you will get these two string is the question. So you do understand what is this strings, right? The formula is of pattern is equal to x plus y. Okay, so s1 is this x thing and s2 is this y thing. Okay, so that's what that is what exactly. So how you will do this, exactly is that you will start with the first. So for s1, so first of all you will find what in what index number this plus sign is lying. Okay, so this plus sign is lying in this index number. So what you can, how we can do, formula dot find this plus sign. Okay, so you will get the index number wherever this is lying. So you will, for the string 1 you will use the substring function. Okay, so formula dot substring. You can go from the first element, not the first element. The first element will be always an equals to sign, right? So you can go from the second element and you will go all the way till just before plus. Okay, m minus 1, at m the plus is lying, so I will go just before plus, and in a similar manner I will get the second string also, second the y value. The y value will be simply m plus 1 because it will start with the value just after plus, and it will go all the way till this formula dot size minus 1. So I hope that is very clear to you. Okay, so yeah, that's how you get these two strings. And now you see, the if you know about the ASCII values, right? So how you will check whether the uh, first thing is a cell or a number. Okay, so whether x or y is a cell or a number. So for the cell, the first element will be a character. Okay, so you see, if s1 of 0, the first element, this s1 is greater than or equal to a, it means that it is a character always, because all the numbers of the 0 1 2 3, all of these numbers, their ASCII value is less than all of those characters. Okay, all of those letters of a. So if the my letter is greater than or equal to 8, means that definitely my first character is of s1 is a letter. And now I need to do a simple thing, is that I need to just simply, what do I need to do for this? Okay, for if this is a character, I will go to that particular cell. So I can do this simple thing, right? I can just do this simple thing which I am telling you. So yeah, I just copied this. I hope you are understanding, right, what I am trying to do. I will press a tab here, and I will also have my answer. What will be my answer? I will just add those x and y values. Okay, so you see here I got to know that my current cell, my current cell, my current value, x value, is a cell, not a number. Okay, so is a cell. So a cell will have this I and j values in a very similar manner. Okay, so instead of this cell, what I will have this string. Okay, so I hope that is very clear. And I will once I have this I and j values, what I can do is that I can add into my answer the sheet of I and j. But do you think all these things I have been doing very correctly? You try to see what is this I and what is this j. They are both rows and columns, right? So I will represent the row number and j will represent the column number. But you see here, I is the column number, right? Okay, so it will be on, also this is 1 based indexing, but I am using 0 based, so it will be j minus 1 and I. So it was supposed to be ji, but j minus 1 and I. So I hope you do understand this, okay, because that's the second dimension is the column which we need to access, and here it is told that the columns are labeled from A to Z, okay. So you just correct this small thing, you just go ahead and just correct this small thing in every place, okay. So this I have been missing, and yeah, I hope you do get it, so you do not make the same mistake again. So yeah, so you do understand what will happen if this is a letter. Otherwise this can be simply converted to stoi and added to my answer, okay. If this is a not a I mean my current value is not a cell, it means that my value is a number, and I can simply add it to my answer by doing string to integer, okay. So this function converts a string to its integer value. So it's 456 is the string, it will convert to 456 integer. So that's how it works, and I hope this will be sufficient, okay. I hope this will be completely sufficient, and you can just copy the same thing even for s2, okay. Essentially it will be the same thing, right? So just instead of s1 you will be getting things like s2, okay. So that's what it will happen. You can, instead of repeating the same thing, you can write a function also, okay. I will leave that to you. You can write a function. So a good habit of coding is do not repeat yourself principle, right? You should not repeat the same code again and again. So I am doing it. You can just use a function and call that function 2 times. So I hope you now have the answer ready with you, but I will show you a very cool method, right? Just bear with me. This method is a brute force one. So if you try to run this and check whether it really works or not. So what is the error with this now? S2 is a substring. Okay, so I just forgot to write this substring function. So you see we got the accepted thing, but if we try to sum it, a very less value, okay. So it is not that good, it is not that good. So how will you improve it? How will you improve it? So if you now, how should we optimize this approach? Now you see, we are initializing this whole table, but most of these values are zeros and are never actually used. We are passing because see, the number of rows can be a maximum of 1000 and the number of columns can be 26. So it's 26,000. That's why we are passing. But you see, most of these values are not actually used it. So how can you optimize it? So I hope you can easily optimize it using a map, and that will be a simple approach also. You do not need to take care of any row or column, right? You just keep a map of string comma value, right? String comma value. So let's say you are, what will be the string? Let's say you are given A26 or something like C424, and you have a particular value to those. Let's say in this you go to this cell and keep a value of 5. You go to this cell and let's say keep a value of 10. You can just do it like this, okay. How many entries do you think there will be in this map? The same number of entries, at max it can go. So you can keep an unordered map which actually keeps an amortized O of 1 complexity, okay. So that will be beneficial a lot, and it will help us in saving many of our time complexities, and it will also improve the code writing, okay. It will also really improve this code writing. So instead of this, uh, what I will do, I will simply use an unordered map, okay. So you see, I will just write unordered map of string comma integer, and you see most of our method will be now very simple. Now we are not at all concerned about the row, so we can keep this function blank as it is. So yeah, so that's what we can keep this function completely blank. And what we can do for set cell is very simple. I can just go to this sheet and I will just do this, okay. Keep set my value, and for reset cell I can just remove everything and just write this sheet of cell equals to 0. So set and reset cell is completely fine right now. Okay, and I hope you understand that this will be quite easy. And you see, instead of doing all of this, what you can do is very simple. You can do answer plus equals to, you get this string. Whenever you get this string, where you can just call this sheet. Okay, you can just call this sheet and you can just add it in your own way. So I hope you do understand, and the code is also becoming much simpler. So that's how you can just add stuff to your answer. And I hope this should also work fine, but with a better time complexity also, right? So if I try to run this and check if it works or it does have some error, so you see we get the accepted thing here also. And if you try to submit this, you see definitely you get a lot of better runtime complexity. You get 91% bits, right? So this is a much better approach. The code is also very short, and I guess and it is very easy to understand also. So yeah, that's all for this video. I hope this was a simple problem, just an implementation problem. You do not need to think much in this question. And I hope both of these approaches are very clear to you, so that you get a clear idea of how exactly to understand and approach these problems. So yeah, that's all. That will be all for this video, and I hope you have a great day ahead. Thank you so much.